Chuck, in this new democracy of South Africa, for the first time, the Proteas crowned world champions, coming through there as World Test Championship champions, beating Australia within 4 days at Lord's. And the celebrations were felt from London all the way to Johannesburg. And the question is, Chuck, the enormity of the celebrations. Do they match what has happened, in the sense that, has the monkey finally been removed from the back of the Proteas, and the C word, the choker's tag, has that also been removed from them? Or does that still need to happen in the white ball cricket? Does it being Test make it that not yet?
I think two different competitions for me, Jay. White ball cricket and the red stuff, which we just won in terms of beating Australia at Lord's. For me, Jay, it's different because if you think about how that test match went, right? Australia put up 212 and we didn't even crack 200 in our reply in the first innings. And if it's white ball cricket, we lose. It's the same thing yet again. But with test cricket, you get to bowl again, you get to bat again, and you get to rectify prior mistakes, right? And I say that because we've been holding the test mace. We've done that before. We've been number one in T20s, ODIs, and test cricket all at the same time as a matter of playing in particular series. We've done that. But when it's crunch time and the calendar is between May whatever, the 1st until the 30th, and we're all together in the same place, playing limited overs cricket, we tend to choke. So for me, Che, is the monkey off our back? No, man, rather, the choking. I think the choking has to be done away with because we did rectify. Because if we were chokers still, you'd have Markram and Bavuma come out to bat and lose all those wickets and not get that 70, 80 odd runs that we needed. That's choking. We didn't do that. We didn't bat particularly well in the first innings, but we made up for that in the bowling. So we never choked in terms of how we got to lifting we had mistakes. We didn't choke because choking means you didn't get there at all. So for me, Jay, the choking term, maybe that one can be put to the side. But in terms of the monkey being off our back, it's the same old. Like, it's what you expect from the Proteas because we've held the test mace under different conditions, right? Because previously it was an accumulation of points over a number of... how long was the period? This is a calendar year where they were counting the points in terms of who gets the mace.
Don't quite recall.
But in that criteria, where you play tours at home or abroad, you collect your points and you've got the best. So for me, Jay, it's very different. Congrats to Temba and the boys, but that monkey is very much still on our back because it was last year when we lost to India in the T20 final. So,
Never. We are world champions. We are world champions. The Proteas are South Africa. We are world champions. I want to check different format. And the operative in what you are saying, right, is under different circumstances we held the test mace. When, as you say, in the previous format, it wasn't this. What this was is it culminated in a final. We're playing in a final, and it is called the World Test Championship. It is the World Championships, meaning that the winner of this one-off game, this game for all the marbles, is the world champion in Test cricket. Once upon a time, there was only but one World Cup. Actually, even before the World Cup, right? The first Cricket World Cup happened when? In 1970 something. And this was not too long after limited overs cricket was introduced to the world, and then with the color clothing, with Kerry Pack and his series down in Australia, and then you had the World Cup. And initially, those one-day international games were 60 overs, I believe, not even 50. And once upon a time, we had 8 ball overs. That got changed, and we have what we have now. Even in terms of how the World Cups themselves have been set up, you had the Super Sixes. Sometimes you just went straight into the knockouts. We had quarterfinals. South Africa were knocked out in the quarterfinals in '96, and now we have what we have now. So it's even that has gone through changes, right? Mm-hmm. And when the World Cup in cricket was first introduced, it was introduced in the one-day international, and that what now is the 50-over game. And that was the only World Cup. That was what determined who the world champions were. And then T20 came into the picture. And then there was that format, which was given a World Cup as well. So you win that, and you are also world champions in T20. This is why when we got to that T20 final and we and out of the semi-final and we got there, there was this big celebration, right? That we finally broke through. We got through to the semifinals and win the final. And when we lost the final, and the manner in which we lost the final, needing 30 rounds of 30 balls, again there was the chokers tag, and again we failed to win the big one because again we're in the final. It was not the history of from losing in Birmingham in '99 to Australia with Alan Donald and Lars Klusner having a mess up in the middle there, and all the way through the rain in South Africa in 2003, what happened again against Australia and West Indies in 2007, and so on and so forth, and in 2015 against New Zealand, right? Because that's the 50 over. But that's where the story started in the one day international. But failing to win in the T20s again carried the same stigma and the same narrative that we just fail. It doesn't matter what the format is. And the thing is, what we're looking for from the Proteas is that when you are in a final for the world title, whether that's in the one day internationals, whether that's in the T20, and now that it has been introduced to white ball to red ball cricket and in the white clothing in World Test Championship final, can you come at the hour? Can the men come to the fore? Can you put up your hands? Can you not shrink? Can you be your absolute best? Can you get it over the line? And it's exactly what we did. For the first 100 and however many years of Test cricket, there wasn't like a world championship, but there wasn't also T20. There wasn't also like a one day internationals, and there were different measures as to how do you determine who the best team in the world is, right? Once upon a time in the 40s, the Australian team under Don Bradman went to England and they were called the Invincibles. They didn't lose any match in that tour that lasted months, if not like close to a year, and they were considered the best team in the world. But now here we find ourselves, as I'm saying, there's the one day internationals, the T20. They have World Cups. You win one of those, you are the world champion. And now Test cricket has a format whereby you get to a final, you win that final, you get to be crowned as world champions. The monkey is well and firmly off our backs. The chokers tag can be put into a rubbish bag and put into a bin and thrown far from us. We, Proteas, South Africa, are world champions.